pressed go live earlier than I meant to. So I'm probably here just talking to myself. But anyway, England just played. England just played, won 4-0. Healthy result. Healthy win. I thought some good performances. And there was me watching it. One of the good performances was our own Declan Rice. Also, I thought, no, apparently not. Apparently he was rubbish. Apparently he was crap. Wasn't what I saw. I'll cut straight to the chase. We'll deal with some comments and some views from the people who are going to hopefully be steadily joining the live chat. And we'll go from there. I'm going to give you my opinion on things from now on. Now, if you're not on social media, you're not going to be aware of the fallout. If you've just watched the England game, stopped watching, had a bite to eat, had a cup of tea, then you won't be aware of what's happened. But England have won 4-0, as I say, and Declan Rice has come in from a ton of stick. Now, from what I can gather, the main crux of the criticism is his lack of an incisive pass. Now, the main contributors of the stick, as you all know from the title, the clickbaity title of this video, are Manchester United fans. Apparently, he ain't good enough to play for Manchester United. Let me cut straight to the chase there. You're not in a position, Manchester United, to be picking and choosing who plays for you. Quite frankly, you can't get any of your main targets. The glory days at the moment are quite far away. Declan Rice wouldn't play for you. That's why you can't have him, not because he's not good enough. If Declan Rice leaves West Ham, it will be to go to a top team. And quite frankly, you're not one. Not anymore anyway. Those days are gone. If he's going to go anywhere, he's going to go to a top 4 team. Do you know what? You ain't one. And probably not for quite a long time either. You're not making the top 4 this season. It ain't going to happen. So he wouldn't join you. But in actual fact, it's exactly what you need. You just don't realise it. And who are you playing in? Matic, something like that? Declan Rice would walk into your team. In fact, West Ham have got a number of players who would walk into your team. Felipe Anderson would walk into your team. Haller would walk into your team, as would Manuel Lanzini. And quite frankly, I think Issa Diop would do a lovely job alongside Harry Maguire. Not that I'm pimping him out. So where's this all come from? It comes from, apparently, Declan Rice's performance. Now, if Gio has been a good boy, which I know he is, he's always a good boy, he'll have sent me the stats. Here we go. He certainly has. Declan Rice's stats versus Bulgaria. 111 touches, 100 passes, 96% pass accuracy. Yes, I know you're going to say they all went sideways. I'll do all that in a minute. 1 key pass, 3 dribbles, successful dribbles, 7 out of 8 accurate long balls, 3 tackles won, 3 out of 3, as I understand, and 3 interceptions. Those are the stats from the game, not my stats. I didn't make them up. And this is what I saw when I was watching the game. That sort of confirms the sort of thing I was seeing. So what's the problem? Well, the problem seems to be there was one particular instance during the game. Raheem Sterling made a run. Declan Rice has failed to pick him out. So he needed a slide rule pass to play Raheem Sterling in. Certainly, it would have been the pass that the most offensive-minded midfielders would have played. But Declan Rice isn't one. But anyway, Raheem Sterling wasn't happy. Had a little hissy fit, and obviously not the sort of pass that he's used to getting at Manchester City. Well, I'm sorry, mate. Yes, your standards are very, very high. And quite frankly, if you were to say to me, Declan Rice isn't good enough to play for Manchester City, I'd say, you know what? He's probably not at the moment. And that's fair enough. But it wasn't simply the City fans that were giving him stick. It was the Manchester United fans. And he's too good to play for Man United. And Man United probably couldn't afford him anyway. So here's where we go from this. And here's the context of it. England are blessed with a lot of very, very good players at the moment. It's a lovely crop. Gareth Southgate has got a huge number to choose from in many, many different positions. Probably not striker, but certainly in midfield, he's blessed. Declan Rice is very much in the mould of Gareth Southgate, and here's the context of it. Gareth Southgate was a central defender at Crystal Palace. He moved to Aston Villa when Aston Villa were better than they are now. Aston Villa were, challenging Manchester United. Never actually quite won the title, but I think they came second a few times, and they were a good club, a big club, and a good club to be at. Southgate was one of the better centre halves around at the time. He moved to Aston Villa, and then latterly went on to Middlesbrough, and he went from a centre back to a holding midfielder. Sound familiar? Of course it does. Now he was quite good as a central defender, quite good at the ball, which is what enabled him to go out into central midfield. He wasn't a clobber. He could retain the ball. He could take the ball with his first touch and pass it and keep the ball ticking over. But the real fact was that when Aston Villa went from playing 3 at the back to 2 at the back, and particularly England under Venables as well, because he would sometimes play central defensive midfield for England as well. When it was 3 centre-backs, he'd play in the 3 centre-backs. When it was 2, sometimes he would play in central defensive midfield. The tactical theory, is that when play breaks down, Gareth Southgate could move back into the centre-half position and play as a centre-half. Not only would he be able to read the game and read it from a defensive aspect, he would also have the physical attributes and the positional sense. So it's no good a diminutive small player. Let's say Kante, for instance. It's no good Kante at Chelsea dropping into centre-back if the balls are going to be coming over from crosses. He's a very good player, wonderful player, would get into every team, of course. But he's a small player. He's a little guy. He's not the sort of person you want heading it out from corners and if the ball has come over from a cross. Now, we actually saw it tonight, by the way. Kieran Trippier, who is enjoying some wonderful form, isn't he, for Atletico Madrid, has been brought back in to the England fold. As of course, Kyle Walker has been dropped for this one. And he went on one of his forays forward, of course, very attacking. Had a wonderful World Cup, if you remember Kieran Trippier. And he went forward and England lost possession. And at that point, Bulgaria counterattacked. Keane went over to basically become the right back. It left Maguire, who was playing as a left centre-back, very, very far over. He was closer to Danny Rose than he was, obviously, to Keane at that point. So there was a gap. I can't remember what minute it was, but at that point, Declan Rice dropped back, ran back, and then became the other central defender. Actually, Keane did very well. The cross never came over. But that's a moot point, because had it have come over, there would have actually been 2 proper centre-halves in the middle in Declan Rice and Harry Maguire, who would have been able to tackle robustly. Had the ball have been in the air, they would have been able to head it clear. This is what Southgate wants. This is very much in the image of Southgate's own play. So there it is. That's what Declan Rice is. He is not James Maddison, who I didn't actually get on today. He is not there for the slide rule passes. He is there to break up play and then give it simply. Now, there will be times during the game when an opportunity presents itself for him to be a little bit more ambitious. We've seen at West Ham, it's something he's starting to bring into his game at West Ham. But I would remind everybody of this, not West Ham fans, but the people that are trolling him at the moment. He is 20 years of age. He is already infinitely better than Kieran Dyer, which is the only real other option in that position, may I say. He is 20 years of age. He has played 1 season as defensive midfielder. He's already in the England team. Before that, he was a centre-half. So if he is not, what's his name, Iniesta just yet, or Xavi, or Pirlo, you will have to excuse the lad. But Southgate is not asking him to do that. That is not his role. His role is then to pass it to somebody else who is more creative in the team. To pass it to Jordan Henderson. That being said, not really Jordan Henderson's role. Jordan Henderson's there as the athlete. They've got a blend in midfield. The guy that's really meant to create is Ross Barkley. So he's meant to be the one that skips past a person or plays the incisive pass to your fast winger, be it either Raheem Sterling or to play it on to, as it was today, Marcus Rashford, who then go on and supply Kane. What is important that Declan Rice does is keeps it simple and doesn't squander possession. Of course, Gareth Southgate will know all about this, because when he did play centre-back, he had a guy in front of him called David Batty who used to do exactly the same thing. David Batty he didn't contribute much going forward, nothing at all, but he used to snuff everything else out. And at that point, he would give it to somebody else. Ray Wilkins, who wasn't really a defensive midfielder, was known as the crab because he used to pass sideways. Of course, crabs don't pass sideways, they move sideways, but that doesn't matter. You get the point. There are always different positions in a team and people that need to do different things. And particularly if you are going to play with elevated and attacking fullbacks, which is what England want, and which is what we want him to want. We want England to do better. England's been crap for years, for all my life. England have been crap. You get the odd little bit, you know, the Euros and so on and so forth. But under Southgate, he's done a lot better. The fullbacks are attacking. If the fullbacks are attacking, if Jordan Henderson's sort of bombing on a little bit, if we've got Ross Barkley there, and if we've got the two wingers who are basically inside right and left forwards, then really you're left with the two centre-backs and someone else to cover. That's Declan Rice's job. So if you're going to get on his back and you're going to have a go, then, you know, it's you need to probably understand what's going on in the game a little bit more technically. I'm going to move on to the live chat in a second because Jazza has just asked, does Gonzo know a live chat exists? Gonzo knows, Jazza. Gonzo clicked the initiate live chat. But if I start going to it from the very start, I miss me rant, I miss me flow. And I had a bee in my bonnet because I had the ump. So I can't get distracted, mate. But I'm going to look at the live chat now. So there we go. Anyway, so hello to everybody. You have to excuse me if you've written anything before now. I haven't seen it. Connor Matthews, obviously Jazza. Michael Connolly says Rice is another Bobby Moore. He should wear number 6. Eric Dyer, not Kieran Dyer. Did I say Kieran Dyer? Sorry. You know I meant Eric Dyer. Who's not doing... He's not really getting involved at Spurs. That's going to take me to something else. So let me just stop the live chat there so I don't miss any more messages because this was another thing that I saw mentioned. And it was about Harry Winks. Really good player, classy player, technically very, very good, Harry Winks. But he's not going to do... How's that chat moving up? He's not going to do what I said, what I just described about the centre-half, the guy in central midfield who can be a centre-half and drop in and be able to head it and act like a centre-half. Harry Winks ain't going to do that. I think if Harry Winks taking anyone's place, it might be Jordan Henderson, not because he's an athlete, because it's somebody that can retain the ball. Well, my views on Jordan Henderson can differ. I think sometimes he can play quite well, and sometimes I think he's a little bit limited. I think it's probably one of the positions that Liverpool maybe could improve a little bit if they could improve at all. Of course, they're a wonderful, brilliant team. So that's my views on the theory that Harry Winks goes in there. But I read the stats earlier on. Declan Rice's stats. You might have just joined us. If you have joined us, I'm going to do it again just in case you missed a bit. Just sort of defending Declan Rice. Really, I tell you what, I'm terrible at this. I closed the thing down. Where's Twitter? There we go. 111 touches, Declan Rice. 100 passes, 96 pass accuracy. 1 key pass, 3 successful dribbles, 7 out of 8 accurate long balls, 3 tackles, 3 interceptions. It was a good performance. And that's why I was surprised to see it on there, to see the criticism. Because I was watching it, and not just with blinkers. I'm not blinkered. Anybody who watches these videos, if West Ham player plays well, be it for England, not many play for England now, but be it for England or West Ham, if a player plays crap, I'll say a player's played crap. Declan Rice didn't play crap today. Declan Rice played very well. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in to the dressing room and Gareth Southgate says, well done, mate. That's exactly what I wanted. You gave us a solid base and allowed everybody else. And let's be fair, apart from Maguire and Keane and Rice, everybody else is an attacking player. So aside from everybody, you know, I bet he said, well done. You let everybody else attack and you did your job precisely and you did your job well. Excuse me. It's gone cold. I've been talking for too long, as always. Slimface says Declan Rice can actually pass and he can definitely ping a nice ball. He's still settling in with England and trying to avoid making mistakes. I think that's key. That's a good post, mate. I think there is a little bit of fear. He is playing with a little bit of fear, which is maybe why he didn't make that pass, because perhaps he doesn't feel like part of the furniture. Perhaps he doesn't feel settled. Give him another 10 games, he's making that pass to Sterling without fear of being out of the team because of it. But so, yes, he did play it safe. But when you've got that many attacking players in the team, you're allowed to play it safe. And I would dare say he is under instruction to play it safe as well. Oh, dear. Right, anyway, I'm not getting involved in all that. Okay, so Sofiane says, I do agree with you, but just because he's holding midfielder doesn't mean he shouldn't attempt those balls. I think I've just covered that. I definitely did. Mark Weir says, the world we live in now with social media is hard to understand at times. Very easy for some people to criticise just for the sake of it. People criticise everything for everything on social media. I understand that. Everybody's an expert, but this would have been happening anyway. Maybe this conversation, let's see if four mates who weren't West Ham fans would just sat down and not on social media and watching the game in the lounge, you know what I mean, or whatever. I think, that conversation would still happen. People would still be saying, why didn't Mike Rice make that pass or whatever? Rice is overrated or whatever. I don't think it is just social media. What social media allows people to do is very vociferous. Social media allows anonymity. It means if someone disagrees with you, you can insult them, you can swear at them without any threat of getting punched in the face whatsoever. So that's what social media, you get a lot of brave boys, don't you, on social media. So I think that's what it's allowed to happen, Mark. If Rice was that good, he'd be playing for Gonzo Rovers. There's no Gonzo Rovers just yet. I'm not sure it'd be Gonzo Rovers. We'd probably think of a different name. Okay, this is from Barbara. Hello, Barbara. She says, Gonzo, we will beat them and shut them up in a couple of weeks. Well, this is part of the thing. I think they're living maybe on past glories. They don't have Paul Scholes and Roy Keane in central midfield anymore. If they did, they would be quite within their rights to say Declan Rice isn't good enough for us. He wouldn't be. Of course, they were magnificent midfielders, but their midfield is not that or anything close to it at the moment. I mean, they're a shadow of their former selves. Yeah, great. They've got Paul Pogba in there. But when does Paul Pogba want to play? Sometimes he doesn't even bother. It's a funny old one. They've got McTominay. But, I mean, do they think McTominay's better than Declan Rice? Well, he ain't. I can tell you that right now. I said in a was it the last video? I think the last video we did, somebody asked me the next manager to get booted out. I said it'd be Garcia at Watford, and I thought shortly after that it'd be Solskjaer. I still think that's going to be the case. You're too lofty. Don't think you're anything special. Gio mentioned in the last video that Jose Mourinho had said that his best achievement was taking Manchester United to second. Yeah, it probably was. Also, look at the team just before Ferguson retired. The team he won the title with, that team wasn't really good enough to win the title. Showed you how magnificent Ferguson was as a manager. They've been on decline for a long time. That's for sure. So, yeah. But I guess it's hard. If you've grown up and got used to winning trophy after trophy and got used to being the best club in Europe, it's got to be hard to then go from being the best club in Europe and the richest club in the world to then maybe be in the 7th best club in your league, in your division. That's quite a climb down. So it's going to take a period of adjustment for the fans, which takes years. We've seen it with other clubs who have had years and years of history and have done really, really well. It's hard to really balance. You only got to look at how mad Arsenal fans are, of course, because obviously had so many good years under Wenger. They were such a good team, so wonderful in the way they played with Thierry Henry and Overmars and Bergkamp and Ian Wright and all these wonderful players. It's been very, very hard for them to not win any trophies, to not compete, to not be one of the best. And you see it in their videos. They're absolute mad. They're on the verge of insanity, angry people, crazy guys, crazy videos. And I think it's hard. So I think Man United fans have certainly got that period of adjustment to perhaps become sort of normal fans and down to earth. And it was, I remember going up there last season, and I've been up there 3 seasons in a row, I think. Very quiet. It's a hard transition for the club. They've got a lot of tourists up there, which is obviously something we've got to be mindful of at West Ham as well. But I mean, very quiet. That and the Emirates are, funny enough, the 2 clubs I mentioned are the 2 quietest stadiums by quite a long distance, and they've had so many years of being entertained. A lot of them are sitting down there saying, entertain us. Well, they can't really do it anymore. I'm not saying they're crap. I am not saying they're crap, okay? But they are not Manchester City. They are not Paris Saint-Germain. The world has changed in that they're not Liverpool anymore, and their midfield is not quite as good as they might think it is, and they're certainly not in a position to be turning their noses up at some of the current England internationals. That's for sure. Ben Davis, as you might, he was asking who was criticising him. It was lots of Man U fans, but basically social media, there's lots and lots of criticism on social media. And because I think during the game, just in case you missed it, he should have played Sterling with a pass. He didn't. Sterling had a go at him. And I mean, a lot of people have been saying on social media, Declan Rice is crap. Declan Rice is crap. If it had been crap, I probably wouldn't have even done this video, by the way. But it was just weird. I thought, well, Declan Rice had a good game because he did all these jobs. As if you heard me read out the stats, you'll know that. Let me move this down a little bit. He's not in my fantasy team. So is someone talking about Declan Rice? Declan Rice shouldn't be in your fantasy team. If you're going to have a midfielder in your fantasy team, have an attacking midfielder, not a defensive one. But that's just the same as anyone. I wouldn't have Kante in my fantasy league team. Nick says, will Declan leave or will he become a legend? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think he's good enough to attract offers at some point. Certainly, I don't think there's going to be. You don't know who's going to come through. I think if he stayed at West Ham, he would be a legend. He's magnificent. There's so many games last season where he was man of the match. Do not rule out silly Man United fans. You know he's going to be man of the match against Manchester United, don't you? I don't even need to say his name. Okay, Sofian. Sorry, I think he's already made that point. Dillian wants to know what's happened with Declan Rice. Hopefully, I've just explained that to you. Sorry, Dylan, not Dillian. It was Man United fans, as GP is trying to explain there. That I can't understand because it's not in English, but you're very welcome. I think that's Spanish. Sorry, my Spanish is terrible. You don't even want me to attempt it. Charlie Holland is it's explaining. Lots of deluded fans thought Declan Rice was crap. I didn't. That's what this message is about. Gonzo Keith Connolly says hello. As you can guess, I'm his boy. See you on the boat. That's Michael. Michael, Keith, hello to you. I will see you on the boats. Funnily enough, you can guess what game we're going to meet on the boats. Yes, it's against Manchester United. Hammer's chat, this will be Gio. He said, worrying thing is that the younger players now read social media a lot, especially when they play well. Dex just played well and Red Numpty's mugging him off. That's 100%. Of course, we've discussed this. We've discussed this in other videos. Less and less people are watching traditional television. Players aren't waiting to get the newspaper the next day to read their ratings. They're going on here. I would love if Declan Rice watched this video. I would love. I don't know if he will. I'd hope so. It's a video entitled Declan Rice at the top. We've had contact with him before. It would be lovely if he watched this to say to him. I don't want to swear because it's early. Kids are everywhere, but just to say to him, don't worry about them. Don't worry about the haters. That's what the youngsters call them, haters. You played well. You played well, mate. You were good. Carry on as you go in. Don't you worry about it. Don't worry about it. Carry on playing like that. I've seen a lot of England teams play. Honestly, I was born in 1974. I'd say Declan Rice, carry on playing like that. You'd be getting 50, 60, 70 caps. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, what are we going on here? Blimey, that chat is going quickly. Sorry, I am so terrible at technology. And it's terrible. I'm terrible. Where we are. Okay. I've gone too far. I've missed some. I do apologise. Connor Matthews says, the thing is, man, you would take Rice in a heartbeat. Their midfield is rubbish. Pogba is great, but everyone else around him is dreadful. That's absolutely right, isn't it? Declan Rice would make Pogba a better player, by the way. Declan Rice would liberate Pogba, as I'm sure Connor would agree. Ian Wilkins, hello Ian, says, England are a poor side. That's what Deck is playing with. Kane, 3 touches, 3 goals. Yeah, I don't. So he's being sarcastic. Maybe I think Ian's being sarcastic. Yeah, England, good team. Man U are in for a relegation battle. Well, says Barbara, I'm not sure they're in for a relegation battle, but they might have to. They might have to slum it out with the rest of us for a while. Hammer's chat. This is Gio again. He says McTominay is a good player. Just hope social media avoids a Rice McTominay stagging match as they did with Sean Longshaft, old Longcock there. That's right. They didn't need to. They didn't need to make that a competition between the two. I only brought it up because I think Rice is better than him. Slimface says even Pogba has shocking games. Of course he has shocking games. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not going to be that bothered about it, Pogba. World Cup winner. He don't care, does he? Won some trophies. Terry Butler says Man United isn't a pinnacle club anymore. They haven't been since Alex Ferguson left. Couldn't agree more, my friend. Sadly, in today's society, it's easier to criticise someone rather than praise them. Rice has a good head and can only improve, says Jason Humphreys. Very true, Jason. Jazz has retracted something. Maybe swore. Maybe said something naughty. Maybe said something pro-Man U. Let his true allegiance slip or something like that. But he's retracted that message. We'll never know what it said. Seaside Hammer, who I guess lives in a coastal regions, says, I feel there's a lot more to come from Rice. We are seeing signs of a more expansive player already at club level. He is 20 years old. You're absolutely right. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm totally right there, Seaside. Because he's confident of his team, he's confident his place at West Ham, he's now started to expand his game. He's going to be playing it slightly safety at England level because he's not going to be totally comfortable in his environment. Give him another 10 games. You've seen a very, very comfortable player. Oh, blimey. Someone's donated $10 and they just called US. Thank you, but you only called US. I can't thank you personally. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. What else have we got here? Oh, dear. We've got a Millwall fan in there. I don't know. I'll let you. It depends if it annoys me or not. I'm not going to ban him for just being Millwall, but his first post, he's swearing and being abusive. You couldn't have guessed it, could you? You couldn't have guessed it. Anyway, Metal Corey says, honestly, I think the modern pro athlete has to be thick-skinned and turn a blind eye to social media talk from rival fans. You're absolutely right. In fact, I am going to talk about this more. Me and Gio are going to do some different videos coming up as well. Some things that are not just West Ham. And I want we're going to do a Netflix one and something I know Gio feels passionately about. So I want to talk about as well about this, about trolling, about social media, about anonymity, about all this stuff. I'd like to talk about that. But onto your point, Corey, that you do need to be thick-skinned. Not just a player. I think you've got to be thick-skinned to be on social media. I see so many people complaining. So there was people complaining this week about the posts that other people were posting. People that they follow, by the way. People that they were complaining about posts that people they follow were posting. And I thought, well, this is crazy, but you don't have to follow them. And there is actually a button on every device that makes it all go away. This is not like somebody following you down the street. Like this, there's a troll. At the moment, there's a troll in here. All right, I have a button that can make him go away. Brilliant. But we all have that button. And at worst, it's the on-off switch. You can just switch it on and off. But it's so hard to get dragged in and get involved. And obviously, I think the thing is, we can, if someone annoys us, we can do something, can't we? We can bite back. I think with the professional footballers, maybe they can't because they've all had media training. And whilst they might want to tell someone where to go and what to do, who's been quite horrible about them, actually, they probably can't. But I would never blame anyone for doing so because we're all very different, aren't we? Yeah, I think he's going, that Millwall fan, in a minute, to be fair. Man United have been adjusting for 6 years, spent lots of millions on players, and they don't look any better than us at the moment. Well, that's right. And they don't, sorry, that was from Slim Face. They don't look any better than they were either, not just no better than us. Let's be perfectly blunt here. They spent, what was it? Let's add it up. Who did they buy? James, who looks a good player. Let's be fair, the winger looks a good player. Harry Maguire looks a good player. And Wan-Bissaka at right back looks a good player. So what was that? 80 plus 50. That's 130, 145. I think James was 15. 145. So he spent 145 million on 3 players who I think we would all agree are good players. They look just as bad as last season. There you go. And not unfair, is it? I mean, that's not unfair. They don't look anything special. They're not troubling anyone, are they? We're not going to fear them. We're not going to go to the next home game when they come to our place fearing them, are we? It is quite likely, highly likely, that Felipe Anderson is going to tear him a new one. I mean, we saw Felipe Anderson up against Crystal Palace, up against Wan-Bissaka at Crystal Palace, and you know, I'm not just saying go back and look at the game. It's there. Go back and look at what Felipe Anderson did to Wan-Bissaka in the second half at that Crystal Palace game at the London Stadium. So let's not, let's be absolutely fair. And we do have midfielders who can run rings around some of theirs again. Okay, right. No, actually, the geezers. Do you know what? The geezer I'm sorry, I'm not even going to give him the time of day. Where is it? He's actually unbelievable. The Millwall fans in there, I can't believe it. He's actually being racist, and I cannot believe it. What's he doing? I'm going to report him. I'm going to report him now. There we go. He's done. He's done. He's going to. There you go. He's gone. He's gone. Why would you do that? Why would you come in on a chat? This just feeds into. This stuff. Anyway, he's gone. Well done, mate. What was the point of that? You've got yourself reported. You're gonna have your flaming Google account closed down now, clearly racist content, and you're not. You know. There you go. You've got your little. Well, not even a moment of fame, is it? Because you've got an anonymous name. You're pathetic, son. Absolutely pathetic. Anyway, where are we? Man, you. Paul Spencer said, I think the second half he improved 100%. His confidence raised and he played well. What are they on about? That's from Paul Spencer. Well, Paul, of course, and that was just an improvement in the second half. That then again will go on, and that will give him more confidence going forward. So, yeah, he's a young player. He's 20. He's 20. The England team are full of young players. This is good news if you're an England fan, certainly. Watford sacked Xavi Garcia. Any thoughts? Yeah, I totally. I think I predicted it in the last video, and in the on Flump TV we did a season prediction. Not a surprise at all. Even Gio said he thought it would happen in the last one as well. Yeah, that's what they do. They're ruthless, aren't they? Absolutely ruthless. I think it's the first time in 7 seasons that they'd started consecutive seasons with the same manager. Sounds a bit convoluted. Does sounds a bit tenuous out there, but you know what I'm saying. They basically usually sack their manager every year. Yeah, absolutely silly. No, I'm not going to talk about Brexit. I agree with you. When you're in a new team, you have the natural instinct not to overdo things. That's from Sofiane again. Absolutely just playing it safe, but safe. There's plenty of safe, but he's safe but effective. He played it safe, but had a very good game within the remit that he was given, which was to protect the back four, to break up play. Wonderful. I cannot understand the criticism. Metal Corey says I cannot imagine us sacking Pellegrini if you've got a CFA Cup final just because of poor start to the season. Obviously going on about Watford. There again, just ignore social media, says Ben Davis. I don't get overly worked up by it. I don't even find it that frustrating. I wonder why people are the way they are. I laugh out, but we can't ignore social media. We're part of it. We got YouTube channels, we got forums, we got Twitter, we got Facebook. We got a revamped app coming out really soon, which is going to have loads of stuff on it. And I mean, we can't ignore social media, and it's right that we comment on it, but we also, we're not so entrenched and entwined with it that we can't pick out the bad stuff when it happens, and we'll dig it out, and people need to be dug out like that muppet in the chat. Yeah, he needs to be dug out. It's a shocking state of affairs. So yeah, listen, the Man U fans have come on, they've had their say, and the on Twitter they're gonna, this is the answer. They're a massive club. They've got lots of channels, they've got lots of social media accounts. They got a big voice. They're millions and millions of supporters worldwide. And they're jumping on a 20-year-old player who I thought played well. He's a West Ham player. We're a West Ham channel. We're gonna defend him if we think that they're wrong. And as I say, if he had been crap, I probably wouldn't have done this video. I would have been loyal, and as much as I wouldn't have jumped on and agreed with a Man U fan and said, yeah, Declan Rice is crap today. But this is our response to what the criticism on social media. So I won't ignore it, but I do know what you mean, and I do think if it's upsetting you, I think you should ignore it. And I think if not this particular one, this is a football debate. This shouldn't upset you. But when the nasty stuff happens, we all know what it's like on social media. I think if it does upset you, I think you should just switch your device off and go and read a book, or go and watch Netflix, or go and have a bite to eat, or do something else entirely, because it can be very, very nasty. Where are we going? Forever blowing bubbles, missed the game. Hello, mate. It was a good game. There'll be some highlights on later. And some interesting things from the game. Mason Mount came on, Jadon Sancho came on. I think Jadon Sancho, I don't know if you noticed, it was so aggrieved at not starting. I thought he was going to start ahead of Rashford because I think he started the season very well with Borussia Dortmund. Although Rashford did really, if you saw when he won the penalty, Rashford did really well. They looked pacey and looked good. There you go. Shows I'm not just doing a Man United hated video. I thought someone was good. Rashford's good. But I thought he was so desperate, Jadon Sancho, to prove he should have started. He did overtry. He almost did the opposite of what Declan Rice did. And then I don't think really particularly came off for him. Ross Barkley's an interesting one, though, but I do know why Southgate played Ross Barkley, because Ross Barkley does have talent, and also Ross Barkley and Southgate's. This was the third one in the qualifiers. Ross Barkley has played well for Southgate in the last 2 or 3 games. So why would he drop him? You've got to be loyal to your players. So I'd expect him to. Will he start next one? I don't know, but he is. It shows he is loyal. So, but if you look what's happened at right back, maybe not loyal in every position. If he thinks someone can improve, he'll do so. James Maddison would have been disappointed not to get a start today. Of course, right, I'm going to start wrapping things up because I'm going to go and watch some. Because I'm going to do what I just said about. I'm actually going to go and watch something on telly. I wonder if Man U fans would be saying these things if he played for them. No, of course they wouldn't. But that's you know, we're all biased as football fans, aren't we? It's a strange one though, because they were digging him out. He ain't good enough to play for Man U. I guess it's topical because there was talk of Declan Rice was responding to some of the summer Man U reports, but they don't have to worry because he's not going to play for Man U because, as I said at the start of the video, they're not a top club anymore. They're not a Champions League club. They're not one of the best clubs in Europe. They're not one of the best clubs in the country, in a division. If Declan Rice goes, he's not going to go to a comparable club. He's not. The team's no better than West Ham's. I'm not sorry to say. I'm pleased to say. But that's not because West Ham have done absolutely brilliantly. West Ham have improved a bit. But Man United have fallen a massive fall for a former European great, a former domestic dominant Leviathan. Now they've been looking at also Rens who I'm looking forward to playing in the next game, and I would expect 3 points. One of Solskjaer's final remaining games before he gets sacked. That's what I expect to happen. And if there's a touch of bravado, that's it. But that's the case. If you look at previous videos when we've gone to play Man United, that's not always been the case. I've thought we might get thumped, we might get beaten. And certainly when we played Man United in the Ferguson era, I expected a thrashing all the time. But these are not the same times. These are different times. Times have changed. Get used to it because it ain't happening. It ain't changing any time soon, not when Ed Woodward is in charge of your club. Oh, it's scrolled all the way down again. I can't believe it. I tell you, useless at this. Useless. Let me get through. I'm going to scroll through these last few. Christopher Simpson's seen Declan Rice's stats for the game. Yes, I read them out earlier. Absolutely, my friend. Ian Smith said our country is full of jealous individuals who seem to run down young English talent, just young people, just run down everyone, don't they? Really? Is it 49 quid? You're talking about the boxing, Ben? Do you see that? Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. Sorry, I don't know if you're talking about that. Because every so often, I've got a list of the chat. It jumps down to the bottom and I miss loads of it. 50 quid to watch the boxing. On telly, to watch a boxing match on the telly. They want £50. No wonder live streaming is thriving. I mean, cooking the golden goose. Slimface says all because Rice said he has the ability to get into the United team. Okay, maybe that's okay, fine. What else we got? Yeah, they are talking about Anthony Joshua there. Right, okay, I've said my point on that. Forever Bone Bubbles said £49 perhaps Gonzo will pay and we'll go around his man cave. Listen, Gonzo doesn't need to pay. Gonzo's got a lovely box where he gets all the channels from all around the world. I don't even have to stream stuff, so I'm a very, very lucky boy. Anyway, in fact, that's how I was watching the England game, and it was only funny as I realised I actually watched it on a foreign channel as well. I only realised afterwards that it's on ITV. I could have just watched it anyway. There we go. Gonzo must make a good cup of tea. Gonzo makes a lovely cup of tea. Lovely, but cold. Hello, Harry. Where are we? Okay. Millwall fan is called General. Yeah. We. Oh, yeah. Okay. Jazza. Yeah. Okay. I get the context of it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I don't want to give him any more airtime. Actually. Rice's Bobby Moore in image. I saw it, and I know when I see it again. Says Dennis Baxter, obviously somebody who watched the great Moro play. I don't know the context of what Gio's talking about. Gary Glitter. I don't know what I missed the above conversation. What else we got? WHU Tubbs says Declan Rice is a defensive midfielder. Man U fans criticise him just because they like attackers. Rice did the dirty work. Unfortunately, this work goes unnoticed. I don't think it did go unnoticed, my friend. I just think they're too tactically thick to notice what he was doing. Not all the Man U fans. Backtracking. Not all the Man U fans, but the ones that criticised him. Up to them. I don't care. Right. I wonder if Rice watches Hammer's chat system face. We've had some. He's watched some bits. We've had some interactions with him. He is a nice man. We like him. We do like Declan. That's not why I'm doing this video, by the way. Although I would love it. Of course, I'd love it if he watched it. Not stupid. It'd be lovely. Bandana would hope it would make him feel a little bit better. But I would almost, rather than that, I would hope he was he's a strong character. Declan is a strong guy. I mean, people don't say it. He is strong. He's strong-minded. He's very, very mature. That's one thing I do think. He is strong enough and single-minded enough to not worry about this rubbish, to look at those trolls and think, yeah, sod you, and get on with his nice evening, have the evening, go home. I guess he can't go home, can he? Because they've got another game. But whatever, go back to the hotel. His best mate, Mason Mount, there, mate, to go back and have a game of pool or PlayStation or Tiddlywinks or whatever they do, and not worry about these. In fact, I hope he hasn't even logged on to the internet. But we do. We love Declan Rice. What else have we got? Southgate is ageist. Yeah, he don't like codgers. I'm done. I've got a beautiful right foot as well. I'll tell you what, I can drop the shoulder and go the other way. I can do an overhead kick. I've got a lot to offer, but under Southgate, I've got no chance whatsoever. I'm going to play alongside Declan. I mean, I would understand his game. He would understand mine. I think we would make a bit like Jack Wilshere, but shitter, if you know what I mean. Anyway, if anyone should be dropped, it's Jordan Henderson. Yeah, I didn't think it was his best game today. Mark Ellen's boy said, I'm old enough to remember how long it took to recover from Matt Busby retiring. 10 years, which are also relegated. The same thing since Fergie left. They should get used to it. Yeah, I mean, it's not just that, is it, though? I mean, it's, and you're right, Ellen's boy. A lot happens with a lot of the great managers. Of course, they did all right. Liverpool, didn't they, under after Shankly, because Paisley was there, but it was very much a continuation because it was all part of the same ethos, the boot room, as they called it. And Dalglish came in. But then once that was done, they had fallow years when they've still not won the league since then. So it does happen. Hello, Stephen Baptiste, which I do like that name. And Baptiste, by the way, lots of people called Stephen. Anyway, Declan Rice has just tweeted, did he, Sofian? I'm sure he tweeted something nice, and I bet he didn't mention the old haters, as they say. I feel like an imposter when I say haters. I feel like I'm 12. Anyway, the haters. Harry Pearce said people bang on about wanting young English team, and then they bash our best young defensive midfielder, even though he played well. Maybe they don't feel English. Did you hear on Talk Sport the Liverpool fan who said if you were from Liverpool, you weren't English? Liverpool was a province. Liverpool was attached to England, but it wasn't part of the Brits. It wasn't part of the United Kingdom. And maybe Manchester United feel the same way. Maybe they feel that if you're Manchester United, you're not England. You're Manchester United. Maybe they feel you can't be both. Obviously, slightly different with Liverpool, who have a strong Irish and Celtic link. Maybe there's something there. I can understand a club affiliation. Of course, I said the other day that given the choice, England win the Euros or West Ham to win the FA Cup, I would take West Ham to win the FA Cup. And I would, and I stick by that. But that doesn't mean I'm not still fully behind England. I love England to win the Euros. It's just given a choice. I don't, just because I support West Ham doesn't mean I don't support England as well. But maybe that is it. Maybe that's why they don't want to support England. In which case you have to wonder why they're watching the game. But they would have to answer that. But they don't want to answer that. They want to tweet something nasty in 280 characters, and they don't want to deal with the nuance and the fine detail. They just want to criticise and be naughty. Rice is great, and Henderson. Rice is great. Rice and Henderson against Bulgaria is just stupid. That says Drum Geese. By the way, what a signing Haller is turning out. Yes, he is. Tubbs, thank you. What else are we going? Getting to the end now. Crikey, it's just skipped to the bottom. It's very hard in a chat. I want you to chat with each other, by the way. I'm not saying don't. It's quite hard to work out what's a chat between people and what is a post, so to speak. Oh, the man who donated money is called Vernon Mars, and he left a comment above. You skipped past it. Vernon, listen, I skipped. Thank you, Jazza. Thank you, mate. I've got to thank Jazza for bringing it up. I had missed it. It just jumps down. Vernon, can I just thank you? I've got to. Can we? Do you know what? Let me just have a little look. See if I can find it here. It's just there's so many. It's been hundreds and hundreds of comments, which is absolutely wonderful. Vernon Mars. Okay, Vernon, thank you, mate. He says Vegas podcast was hilarious. Vernon, I've got to thank you, mate. I've got to thank you. If you want to post something now, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. But we very much appreciate it. You're a top geezer, and obviously from the US. So what else have we got here? Learn to fish. That's a funny name. Quite descriptive. I've started watching fishing program with Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse, which is quite nice. Holding midfielder is never going to shine against Bulgaria. Absolutely right. This is sensible. Test him versus the big boys and he'll perform as he does for us. This is actually, of course, this is it. Why haven't I said it? Why didn't I think it? Of course. How's he going to shine when the other team aren't attacking us? He's got minimal amount to do. Can't stop. Could have checked his tweets, couldn't they? During the game. Could have answered them. Could have answered the trolls. Yeah, you're absolutely right, fishy boy. You're when you got when you got Holland running at you, there's obviously a lot more to do. We'll do with the seats. West Ham questions I'm going to leave out, but thank you for posting, Adam Levitt. We got videos going up. We've got video coming up. I hope you've not watched the quiz on the Hammers Chat channel. If you haven't, go and watch the quiz. Lovely quiz with Quizmaster General. What's his name? Jeff Stelling. Jeff Stelling does Countdown, right? That's what I was thinking of. Who's the Quizmaster? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, Gio's the Quizmaster. Go and watch that. We've got video coming up on the main channel tomorrow as well. A little surprise. Not going to tell you. Might be topical, or it might be tropical. Probably not. Probably not tropical. More topical. Give that a watch as well. But what? Anyway, sorry, Adam. The point was, I keep digressing. We'll deal with that stuff, West Ham stuff, in upcoming shows. Daily Star should be ashamed of themselves. The headlines about Rice are derogatory. Really? Listen, I've got to crack on. I'm not going to. I should pull it up really, but I've got to crack on. I mean, I want to get these things completed. Do you think Rice could play as an attacking midfielder? Asked Victor Fed. No, not at all, Victor. Not for me, mate. Jamie Betts says your website won't let me log in or reset my password. Do me a favor, Jamie. Contact hammerschat@gmail.com. At the start of it, at the title, say hello. It's Jamie Betts here. Tell me your username, and I will go on and I will do it either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning and reset it for you, mate. Okay. The man who donated the money was called Vernon Mason. I'm sorry, crikey, I've gone back to. Just see how bad I am. Oh, dearie me. I need help. I need help here. Where are we here? I've just done it again. This is not user friendly. This thing I've got to say. Vernon Mace. He says, if it's still going, my comment was further up. The Vegas comment was second. Appreciate all the good content. You are very, very welcome, Vernon. Very welcome. I'm glad we got there, my friend. You're dealing with a nincompoop. You're dealing with an idiot. You're dealing with somebody that talks too much and can't push buttons properly. Gonzo, do you fancy the video thing? What are we talking about? I can't introduce that thing now if that's what you're talking. Connor designed a lovely video thing. As you just heard, Connor Matthews in the chat. He is Spiffing Brand on Twitter, and he's very clever with his artwork and his shenanigans and his editing. That's what they call it. Very, very good. He done a lovely video transition, but I'm not using any software, mate. I'm going au naturel. Well, I'm clothed, obviously, not au naturel like that, but I'm not using this, but I will be using it. I love it. It's a lovely edit. I'm going to be using it a lot, mate. Oh, what else have we got here? We're coming to the end. Where are we? So, yes, we thank you, but Vernon, you are a nice man. Harry, oh, sorry, that's answering something else. England fans slam West Ham star Declan Rice following Bulgaria performance. Peter, thank you. I take it that's the Daily Star. Was it Star? I think it's the Star headline. That's the Star. Okay, thank you. It is, he says afterwards. Gonzo Twitter troll me because of my name, says Phil McCock. Phil, what can you say? What can you say? I'll leave it there. No, I won't. I've got 3 more comments. Rice be better at Old Trafford in a few weeks than Jason Roy's been at Old Trafford this week. It's a shocker. Don't mention the cricket. Anyway. Carry on talking sense. Let the button pushing. Leave the button pushing to those without life. No, listen, people need a button push. Button pushers talk sense as well. I'm not sure how much sense I've talked. I can go off tangent quite a bit. Crikey, 51 minutes. I said it'd be 10 minutes. I'm going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? The Daily Star is total shite. Well, Mick won't be going for much longer, I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you, mate. Where are we? How to knock someone's confidence, says Barbara. Yeah, I don't think they will. He's strong. He's resolute. He's a man. He's a tough. He's not a boy. Do you know what I mean? He's a grown adult. He'll be all right. Don't worry about it. I don't know why we're talking about Cresswell. Are we going to win the cricket? No, we're not. But you know what, Andy? We made a move to thrive at the limited overs game, and we've just won the World Cup, and our Test cricket has suffered as a result. I'll accept that. I was desperate to win a World Cup, with the cricket, and we just have done so. We can't have everything, unfortunately. Hate to say it, but Rose's quality tonight was very good, wasn't he? Should learn to fish again. Best go then, Gonzo. Yeah, I will, Ben. Bless you. Thanks, mate. Declan Rice reminds me of one of those weeds which blow in the garden. I don't know what he means. No Ben Stokes miracle this time. No, definitely not. Roy Keane. Okay, did you see the thing? I've watched the whole thing. It's a 2-part videos. The video's 2 hours long. There's 2 parts. The whole thing's excellent, by the way. It's excellent video. Obviously, people have taken snippets out of it. But the whole lot is dynamite. It's really good. Great show. Yeah, well, I'm going to go and watch the film. Thank you, Barbara. Bless you. I've got some cake. It was a salty caramel cake, some Victoria sponge. I've got the kids. It's the weekends. The kids are still in there. I'm going to go and feed them some cake, put a film on. And I'm going to put an oldie on. One thing they're not used to. I think I'm probably going to put on... I'm going to put on Speed. You know the Speed with the Keanu Reeves and the bus and stuff like that? I'll be all right. Sort of inoffensive. There's no naughty business in it, is there? I mean, they're going to be embarrassed about watching a film with their dad. My missus is working night shift at the hospital tonight. So The World is My Lobster. Where are we? God... any ideas what I should write for my next article after the Cheetah article? I do, Mo, and thank you for that article, mate. It was very well received. I think you should write about Declan Rice. You should write about this very subject, my friend. There you go. Rice and a crazy 2 on. I've been told by David Gold. It's amazing. I mean, it's David Sullivan. but I like it. Right, I've got to go. I love you all. You are very, very nice, and it's been lovely chatting with you. I've missed you lots. We've not spoken much, have we? Recently, not for a few days anyway. And yeah, thank you for joining in. I'll see you all at various different times over the next couple of days. Tune in, lots of videos coming. We'll do another chat in 3 or 4 days. We'll have a little chat. Me and Joe will get together. We'll do videos here, there, somewhere. Sorry, I'm just reading something. Oh dear, Vernon thought this was the West Ham way. But regardless, this is another favourite of mine. Okay. Well, you're welcome, Vernon. You're welcome. And thank you for your kind donation. There you go. Do I have to give it to the West Ham way now? Or can I spend it on more cake? Cake. Definitely cake, I think. But thank you. You're very nice people. Refund. Learn to fish. Refund. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Really good. Lovely. I'll see you later. I'm going to go as it takes me 10 minutes to say goodbye. Otherwise, goodbye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you. Take care now. See ya.